just have to emphasize that you need to figure out when your body sleeps the best and how much sleep your body needs. I've been hearing a lot more lately, but even you interviewed a guy that talked about it. Women need more sleep than men. So one thing I do just to maintain my well-being, and my family kind of makes fun of me sometimes about it, but I've learned this about myself. And so I just am like, nope, this is what I need. I don't get up early. I used to do that, and I was a more miserable person. I think you can attest to that. I feel better and I'm happier, and I am able to maintain a better emotional state more often when I just sleep in. Now, for me, that generally means I'm getting up at like 7:30, 7:45. But if I try to get up earlier then, and not that I can't, because we had to do that when we drove to Lisbon. I got up at 6, but that's not natural.
Miserable the whole day. It was a mess.
No, I wasn't. I was fine. But if I do that consistently, it drains me, and then I'm just not as happy. I am just happier when I sleep in until 7:30. Now, I also know about myself. I've told you this before. I used to try to be Greg Denny. I used to try to go to bed at 9, because that's basically when he's falling asleep, 9 p.m. And I would try to get up at 5 or 6, just like Greg. And then I realized I'm not Greg and I'm not a man. And so I go to bed at 10:30, 11:30, anywhere between 10:30 and 11:30, and I sleep until 7:30. And when I do that, I am happy and I feel great. When I mess with that, I don't feel great. It just throws me off. So that's a part of the key, like self-awareness. Learn that about yourself and then stick to it, because you know you're going to feel better. I've even learned, like, sometimes if I stay up past midnight or whatever, like, it'll just throw me off. And then I'm just, especially if it's more than once in a week, and I just feel way worse, right? I don't feel up here. I'm like, down here.
It's hard to emphasize this enough, you guys. We should feel good most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we should feel vitality and stamina.
And
we
at
should
least
feel
some of
awake,
these
energized,
higher
and alive
level
most of the
emotions
time.
above neutral, like even if it's not huge above neutral, we should be at least above neutral most of the time.
Yeah. Okay, let me hit a couple things quickly. So number 2 is food. Food is fuel. And if you want a premium energized body, then you need to consume premium fuel. Most of us are putting trash in our bodies. We're literally treating our bodies like garbage cans.
Or we're putting in gas when we should have diesel.
Yeah. So,
or vice versa.
No highly processed foods. Just cut. Highly processed foods are literally killing your energy and killing your health. So just cut out highly processed foods. Lots of refined sugars and simple carbohydrates are doing the same thing. It's just it's collusion. You're creating your own problems.
Way more fats and proteins.
Yep.
In fact, fat is fuel for your brain.
Yep. And
so
your body.
If you feel brain fog or you feel lack of clarity, you need more fats, because that's going to fuel your brain. It's going to fuel your thinking. It's going to help with the decision-making skills. So you need more fat. I'm talking about saturated fats. Despite the fact that the food pyramid says we shouldn't have them, food pyramid is a scam, and we need lots of saturated fats.
Good stuff. If you guys are interested, let us know. I think it'd be a blast to do an entire session just on food. It would be so.
They probably feel like that every time.
That's
talking
true.
about it so
much. But food is fuel. So you guys, what you're putting in your body, input determines output. So a lot of times we have low energy simply because of what we're putting in. We're just not eating well. So that's number 2. Get that cleaned up and watch. The first couple of days, your body will be like, what's going on? I'm used to eating this stuff. But then after that, you'll feel so much more energy. So cut out the energy killers like soda and seed oils, vegetable oil, stuff like that. It's just killing you. Number 3, I would say, is just ideally some form of exercise, but at a minimum, just moving your body. Just move your bodies. Movement is like the body acts like a dynamo. When you move it, it generates energy. So when you're feeling low energy, just dance around, turn on some music and dance and run in place, do some jumping jacks, like have some fun, have a little bounce in your life again, and watch what happens when you just dance around. You're just sitting there. Maybe it's, after lunch, we just have that afternoon lull and you're like, I don't feel like doing anything. And you have to do some stuff. Turn on a fun song and do some jumping jacks, run in place and watch what happens. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I used to think that if I felt low energy, it was because of something that happened in my life, something that happened to me or some circumstance that occurred. And I thought, oh, that's why I feel like this. And so in order for me to feel more positive energy, something good has to happen. My circumstances have to change. This problem has to go away. And now I realize that that's not true. There is an element of truth to it, but for the most part, the reason why we're feeling lower energy is because of the things Greg just mentioned. We didn't get enough sleep, we're not getting the right food, or we're not moving our body. And I know that that seems so simplistic and like, no, it's because my cat died. That's why. But I promise you, you're going to feel better about your cat dying. And I don't mean like in some weird way, but have more of the ability to process those emotions, because having negative emotions isn't bad unless they get stuck. That's the problem. You don't want to get stuck in negative emotion. You want to be able to move through negative emotion. And you're going to be able to better do that when you have good sleep, good food, and move your body. But if you don't do those things consistently, you're going to be stuck in negative, low emotions and energy. And it has way less to do with your circumstances than you realize. Now, the other piece to this is, of course, your thoughts. Your thoughts fuel your emotions fuel your thoughts. The other things we mentioned more will make it easier for you to have more positive thoughts. I've noticed for myself that the more I do those other things that we mentioned, the easier it is for me to think and feel positive.
Yep.
The less I do those things, the easier it is for me to feel and think negative. So that does play a role, but I used to try to go around it backwards. I used to be like, oh, I need to think positive. I need to think positive. I need to feel positive about this, especially when I understand the huge connection between feelings and manifesting and attracting things into your life. And I'd be like, I'm feeling negative emotions. That means I'm attracting negative things. And then I would feel worse, right? It's so much easier to think positively and feel positively when you do these other things. Like it's like our bodies are made that way. Oh, amazing, right? If I sleep well, I eat well, and I move my body, I feel more positive and I have more positive thoughts. So now that's the go-to. Instead of like, oh, I need to change my circumstances, which there's definitely a place for that too. Like sometimes, yeah, you do need to change your circumstances. If you change your circumstances, you would feel better. But in the meantime, you can sleep better, eat better, move your body, and you'll feel better.
I'll just add one more. Get outside. Most of us are not getting near enough sunshine, and we're literally deprived of light. So, well, there's two things about being outside. One is the sunshine, and two is just the connection with nature and the earth and the grass and the trees and the sky and all that beautiful stuff. So get outside, get sunshine, preferably in the mornings. Get sunshine on your bodies and oh man, and then do things you like. That little recipe right there will transform our energy levels, you guys. And make it so much easier for us to be energized and alive.
Especially when you do it sooner than later. Like as soon as you start to feel, and so again, as soon as I start to feel a downhill slide at all into negative emotion, I'm like, I stop. I stop what I'm doing and I say, okay, I'm going to get a snack. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to move my body, or maybe I'll take a nap or rest. If I stop whenever I start to feel negative emotion or low energy and do those things, then I avoid this and I get back up to positive.
Well, and we can even operate proactively, preemptively.
Yeah.
So if we're just regularly doing those things on a regular basis, I'll often not have any low energy because I'm just doing those things. They're built into my daily rhythms. So I always have high energy. So, you had a great question there. What book do we recommend about food? Why We
Mhm.
Get Sick by Benjamin Bikman. Absolutely phenomenal book. Short book, powerful book. Everyone here should read it. Read it, reread it, have it on there. Like he gives all the research on there, what to be eating, what not to be eating. It's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. That
Okay.
was a great session. Good questions, good stuff. Things that are literally life changing and transformative for our families. So love you guys. Thanks for being here. Go love on your families. Go love on your spouses and kids. Do great things. Have a great week. Love you guys. Reach upward.